Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So in today's video I have got another full face of collection makeup. They've brought out so many new products recently and I'm going to be trying a load of them out. I also have so many old favourites here, starting with foundation. I got a message recently on one of my older videos asking if the Collection Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish mixes in to the Hydra Serum. And I can confirm that it does. It looks beautiful, but I'm going to try it today, mixing it in with the Glow foundation, actually taking this onto the back of my hand and like mixing it in and applying it that way, rather than using this underneath as a step. I quite like mixing it in with the foundation. So what I'm going to do is try and get as much product on there as possible. Take a few swipes of the Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish and pop it onto the back of my hand like so. And then I will take the Lasting Perfection Glow Foundation. I wear this in the shade 5 and I'll put a pump and a bit of that onto the back of my hand, and then I will take an eyeshadow brush and mix those together. So this will of course sheer down the formula a little bit, sheer out the coverage of the foundation, give it a little bit more glow, because I don't really feel like this gives an insane amount of glow. I would say that it's more just like a natural finish, but I want quite a lot of glow today. I mean, I do have some sort of setting products coming up. I do have some more glowy products coming up. I just wanted to see how this looked. I just wanted to try it out. And then I'm just going to use a sponge to blend this out, which of course will again sheer down the coverage a little bit more. I'm not necessarily bothered about that, but it's just my preference. Some people are really like team brush and I am on the other side where I'm like team sponge. I just love the finish, and obviously having quite dry skin, I like having the extra hydration that comes with using a slightly dampened sponge. So as you can see, that has just evened everything out. It's like knocked back the redness a little bit, but you can still see all of my freckles and it does look really nice and natural and really nice and glowy. For concealer, I'm using this one and I haven't used this in ages and it's genuinely one of my favourite concealers. This is the Lasting Perfection Stretch Concealer and Eyeshadow Primer. This is in like a little pot. It's so pigmented. I'm going to just use a really small eyeshadow brush, this is, and I'm just going to tap the tiniest little bit just directly where I need it, like right in there. Get those dark circles, and I'm just going to blend it out with the same brush. So I just want to keep it quite precise right in there. So the concealer that I'm using is in the shade 4, so it's slightly lighter. The foundation was 5. I'm just going to keep that right on that inner corner so that it doesn't get too heavy and doesn't get like too much coverage, but it just brightens up nicely, cancels out the dark circles as well. So I'm not going to put that concealer anywhere else. I've got a few breakouts at the minute, but I'm not worrying too much about them. And now for a brand new product. This is the Collection Cream Bronzer. I saw this on their website and I was like, I am so interested. I didn't think it was going to be as huge as this. I thought it was going to be like the e.l.f. putty bronzer, and then it comes and it's like the size of my hand. It's absolutely huge. And let me just show you inside. Is this, or is this not, trying to be the Chanel thing? The Tan de Chanel Ultimate Universal, whatever it is. Can you tell I don't have it? I feel like it's trying to be that. It looks like a whipped ice cream. Doesn't smell like anything, doesn't smell like ice cream. That's not a bad thing. I don't like it when products have scent. So I'm going to use a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Let me just swatch this first. Oh, it feels much firmer than what I was expecting it to, but it is melting under the heat of my fingers. Oh, that is a nice colour. That is a very, very nice colour. Very warm, very, very warm, but obviously it's a bronzer, so we do expect that. So with the brush, I'm going to tap in, and then I will tap into the lid to like work the product into the brush. And let's just see, shall we? Yeah, that is a nice warm bronze. There's nothing contoury about it, which is fine. You know, all of those products have a place, but that is really, really nice. It's not too pigmented. It's just the right amount, I would say. It's blending out really, really nicely. I would say that that is almost feeling a little bit like a cream to powder sort of a product, where I don't feel like it's adding any sort of glow. It's not a creamy bronzer in the sense that it's sort of adding hydration. It's not like that. It feels quite different to the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, for example, where this definitely does feel like it has more of a velvety sort of finish, which I quite like. It's definitely like the right amount of pigment for me. Sometimes with bronzers and any sort of products really, sometimes I feel like they are too pigmented, where you apply them and you can't blend them out, or there's just no pigment at all, and it's a balance between the two, where I feel like this is just right, and I really, really like the colour. I can't remember off the top of my head if they had more than one colour. I mean, it says on it shade 1 bronze, so I don't know if they had different colours or if they're going to come out with different colours. I genuinely can't remember. It does have like a plastic thing to like seal it so that it doesn't dry out. The packaging does feel quite cheap. It does feel quite sort of flimsy and rattly. This was, I think, £8.99, but there's so much product here. So next up is the Filter Finish Liquid Blush Light Wand. Today I'm using number 2 Peach Pleasure. I have a full like first impression review of this, comparing it to the e.l.f. Halo Glow wands. If you're interested, I will link it up above. I prefer these ones. These, I would say, are better than the e.l.f. Halo Glow ones. And how much hype have the e.l.f. Halo Glow ones gotten in the last like couple of months? Madness. And these are better. In my opinion, these are better. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit of product up and then do a couple of dots on each side, and then blend using another Real Techniques Expert face brush, and just blend it in. Again, these have just the right amount of pigment. They blend out so nicely. They feel lovely on the skin. They feel really, really nice, and they add such a lovely amount of colour. And also just the blush one on its own adds the nicest amount of glow. Obviously there is that like blush lighter element to it, where it is like a blush and a highlighter, but I feel like they look so nice, and they're also buildable, so I am going to put on a little bit more. So obviously the skin is already looking so lovely and so glowy, but I've got to use this one. I haven't actually used this on my face yet, so first impression here, this is the Collection Filter Finish Liquid Highlight Wand, and this is in the shade 1 Strobe Light. Again, I don't know if they actually had more than one shade of this, I can't remember. So again, I'm going to squeeze up a little bit of this, do a few dots on the high points, and then I'm taking my highlight brush and I'm just going to tap that in, but just keep it more on like the tops of my cheeks. I'll also take some onto the forehead, just everywhere where I like to add highlight normally, which is everywhere. I like to be seen from outer space. So again, that has blended in so nicely. I feel like I look like I've genuinely been outside and being kissed by the sun, which I can confirm I certainly have not. So I'm just going to set very lightly, like here, where I don't want to look shiny. This is the Collection Vit Hit Blurring Setting Powder. I did a full review of the Vit Hit range recently. Again, I will link that if you want to see it. So I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm just going to take a really tiny amount of this because it is incredibly mattifying. I'm just going to really tap off the excess and just mattify right here where I don't want to look shiny, like under my eyes. I'm just going to put a little bit like down the centre of my forehead as well. Again, just the places where I don't want to look too shiny. I don't mind the glow. In fact, I love the glow. I need the glow, but I don't want to look sweaty, so I'm just being quite precise with it. So for the brows, this is an old favourite. Old to the point where that is the amount of product that I have left. This is in my project pan, so I'm like literally a millimetre away from being done with this. This is the Incredibrow Define Plus in the shade Brunette 2. So I'll be right back when I've got some brows on my head. Okay, brows are on. That took a minute longer than I was expecting it to. I have carved out the brows, which wasn't my intention. I've also put some of that concealer, the Lasting Perfection Stretch Concealer. I've also put a little bit of that over the lids to prime. For the eyeshadows, we have 3 options. I think I know which one I'm going to use today, but let's see. So we have, these are all new by the way, brand new, and I'm so excited. So we have the Solar Voyage palette, and this has oranges and pinks. These shimmers look incredible. Like I say, I think I know which one of these I want to wear today. It's not necessarily this one. So 4 shades. I can't remember how much they were. Shall I look it up? That'd be useful information, wouldn't it? $3.99 these eyeshadows were, and as I just looked that up, I remembered I don't have a lip product. Why do I always sit down to do these full faces of makeup and I'm like, I don't have one item that I need? I know it must be very annoying. I'm sorry, it's just the sort of person that I am. So $3.99, 4 shades. These are significantly bigger than like the e.l.f. bite-sized ones. So the pans are larger, you get more product, and I feel like these are a sturdier sort of feeling than the e.l.f. ones. I love the e.l.f. ones, just FYI. But, so, the next one is Mars Explorer, and these look beautiful. Burnt oranges and these sort of warm orangey smoky shades are so beautiful on blue eyes. So these 3 are matte, and then this one on the end is a shimmer, and that one looks beautiful as well. And then lastly, this is the one that I think I want to use today. This is Cosmic Utopia, and this one has boring nude neutral shades, but this one at the end looks like it's going to be like a duotone sort of beautiful shimmer. These 3 are matte again, so let me wipe off those other swatches off the back of my hand. I'll do some swatches of this one and I'll be right back. Okay, so I actually feel a little bit underwhelmed with that shimmer shade. So the nude, the brown tone, the pink tone, and then can you even see that? I suppose you can a little bit. That shimmer is just not showing up like I thought it would. I thought it would be like really pigmented and really like foiled, and I'm just a bit meh. Should we swatch the other ones? I think at this point we really might as well. So Mars Explorer next. I will say that the mattes feel really like smooth, really nice and pigmented. Yeah, those ones are showing up so much better. Weird. Those ones are pretty. That shimmer is showing up so much more, and that's like catching the light and almost going like peachy. That's really pretty. And then let me just do the last one, which was Solar Voyage, and that is what those 4 look like. So this was a shimmer, and then these 2 were a shimmer, and this like orangey sort of warm transition tone, that's a matte. So the shimmers in the other palettes look much more pigmented. All of the colours look much more pigmented than the one in the palette that I thought I was going to use. So I actually think, upon reflection, I think I'm going to use that Mars Explorer one because I'm very interested in that shimmer shade. Let me wipe my hands before I get this on everything. And I do only want to do something quite like basic today, but let's just see where the day takes us. I will go in with this second shade in on a big fluffy brush, but I only want a small amount of it. So tap it off and very, very lightly, oh that's so pigmented, very, very lightly through the crease. So that was like one dip, blended out, also gone under my eyes, and honestly that colour on blue eyes is just giving me like the boost, giving me what I want. So I'm going to do almost like the same thing, but just keep it a little bit further out with the darker, more reddy sort of brick shade. I'm going to stamp that like on the outer third of the lid and work that into the crease as well. Yeah, so these are blending lovely, but they're staying really nice and pigmented, like where you put them. I really, really like that colour, like blend and everything. I'm going to go in with my finger into that shimmer shade and see what we can do. See if we can build it up on the lid, see how pigmented it is. Oh my goodness, that colour! Wow, I wasn't expecting that, can you tell? Okay, so that shimmer shade has built up, has turned into like a foil across the lids. It also applied really nicely with a brush to get like right into the inner corner, blended out into those matte shades beautifully. I am obsessed. That looks incredible. Okay, so next up, I don't know if this is new or if it just happened to be on the new section on the Just My Look website. This is where I found this. They did have it on the collection website as well, but it wasn't in the new section. So I don't know if Just My Look happened to get it. This is the Fast Stroke Felt Eyeliner. And when I got this, I thought, yeah, it's going to be like a felt tip eyeliner. And then I opened it and the tip of this is absolutely huge. I don't know how well I'm going to get on with this. I do prefer a brush tip for my eyeliner, but let's see how this goes. This is in the brown shade as well, so I'm hoping it's going to go quite nicely with the like warmer orangey tones on my eyes. Let's see. Okay, so I've got some thoughts. The tip is too firm. The actual product is quite watery in that it's like not a very pigmented brown. You can still see like the shimmer underneath and things like that, which is fine. Obviously there's a time and a place for a slightly softer, more natural brown eyeliner, and that's absolutely fine. However, because it's a slightly wetter formula, you can't then draw over it again and sort of fix any areas that you might have missed or is looking a little bit funky. The line that you do is the line that you have, and I find that quite intimidating, if I'm completely honest. I need to know that I can go back in and apply more if I need to. You need to be very, very good at doing your eyeliner the first time, which I am not. I have to go back in and I have to like make one a little bit longer, you know, add a little bit more to another side, and I have to keep going backwards and forwards until they are somewhat similar. And I feel like at the minute they are not similar enough for how I would like to leave them, but I can't go back in. Like, I want to make this one a little bit fuller, like above it, and like join it in a little bit more, but I just can't, because then it's pulling off what's already down there and just leaving a big bald patch and making it look really messy. So I'm going to leave it at this. I know that they are sisters, not twins, but I am not really happy with how that is looking. I will keep on using it, of course. I'm going to store it like lid down so that we can see if any more of that juicy product goes back down into the nib and makes it a little bit easier to use. For the lashes, I'm going to use the Lash Surge False Lash Effect Mascara. I tested this in a full face of collection makeup that I probably did a couple of months ago now, and I do like it. It looks incredible, but it smudges quite badly on me. So that is not a problem for today because it is already late afternoon, and when I say late afternoon, it is 5:10 in the evening, so it doesn't matter that this is like not going to last an incredibly long time on me. That doesn't bother me too much today. It is one that I don't wear for work, don't wear like out and about, because I just know that it will smudge, but I do think it looks really, really nice once it's all like built up and everything in a minute. So that is the eyes done. I put on a little bit of lip gloss. This is the e.l.f. Lip Lacquer in the shade Whisper Pink, just to finish off the look, and now I am done. Let me know what you think. Let me know if any of these new products are going to make their way into your collection as well. I think the bronzer is fantastic. I think that that is a really, really nice cream bronzer. If of course you're in the market for one, I do think that it's a really, really nice colour for somebody very, very fair like myself. I do think that it looks really, really nice. The eyeshadows, I would honestly only say that this is the one worth picking up. The others, I just feel a little bit meh about. I don't really feel like there's anything of note there. Obviously the blush ones, I think they're incredible. The highlight one I also think is really, really nice. What else new have we tried today? Oh, the eyeliner. Didn't really think very much to that. But that is my final thoughts on all of these new products. So, as always, I will leave everything linked down below. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you are new here and this is the first video of mine that you've seen, then hello, welcome. My name is Millie. I make videos just like this all the time. I post 3 times a week on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday, so I would love it if you would consider subscribing down below, and you'll get a little notification every time I post a new video. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye!